Right, we're away. Interesting place. Very, very humble beginnings, and developed over the many years to where it is now. It was blown away once during a storm, so they pretty much had to start again. Yeah, utilised by a lot of people like us, transits. There's a visitor's book there with many entries in it. The history, of course, is on the walls. It was also used as a police base, if you like. In 2015, there was a camel shooter who wounded a beast and kept following to finish it off effectively, and he ended up getting disorientated and lost. So there was a massive search out for him over the course of 5 days, and an Aboriginal tracker found one footprint, and with that little information was able to track him down, and he was found 5 days later near death, but he lived, he survived. So yeah, it's come in handy at times for different reasons. So yeah, enjoyable stay. I think most of the blokes who got there enjoyed it. 40 riders showed up. Now getting out of here, the shortest possible route is 190 kilometres to Laverton, and everybody who came in that way didn't enjoy it at all. Lots of heavy deep sand. But some blokes came in from an alternative route, a little bit longer but a lot easier. So that's the way we're going to get out. We travelled down here for 14 kilometres. What's my speedo telling me now? Yep, 14 kilometres, and then we turn right and sort of follow your nose and get on a White Cliffs road and then into Laverton. About 200, well, depending on who you talk to, 220, 240 kilometres. And apparently the going is pretty quick. Some mine access roads or something. So we'll take that, because the other option by the sound of it is pretty torturous. Yeah, we'll make our way to Laverton, where we'll meet Dave, and that's the next part of this particular journey. I did say it has lots of moving parts, and that's another one of them. So yeah, we are meeting another rider in Laverton, Dave on his BMW R1200 GSA. More on that later. We must be getting close to this junction, I think. Apparently it's quite evident, quite prominent. Holy shit, hang on to it, Steve. And from there, oh man, from there we head due north. I'm not quite sure how far, but I think once we make the turn, I think it's a case of follow your nose. Certainly we'll know more later. I'll be happy to get off this road, and it only gets worse. So yeah, it'll be pretty tiring by the time you got to Laverton. And one bloke in fact started from the Laverton side, had an off, and decided, you know what, it just ain't worth it, so he turned around and returned to Perth. And you've got to admire blokes who make that decision. It's all about survival in some cases, and you don't want to hurt yourself or bust the gear. Alright, this is the junction. There's already signs of life. There's a sign there, call up point, so it must have something to do with mining, I guess. You are entering an active mineral exploration area. Due to the narrow roads, we would request you called up. Okay, so it's a mine access road or something. Anyway, like I say, due north, not sure how far, could be 40 k's, and then we start heading due west. Constantly checking the mirror, and I've lost sight of Cots. We just went through some really deep sand for about 300 metres, and I've lost sight of him. My guess is he may have laid it over, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, geez, you've got to take your hat off to those blokes on the 1250 and the Harley Davidson.
And this is the good track.
Yes, exactly, yeah. This is the good track, yeah. I'd hate to see what the other one's like. Right, I think I saw a headlight. Yeah, there he is. And maybe he didn't lay it over, maybe he paddled through, don't know. But yeah, tough going. And this is the good track. There is supposed to be a pretty serious washout around here somewhere. The blokes were saying between sort of peg markers 34 and 35, and you won't get any notice. It just appears out of nowhere. I reckon it's deep enough to swallow your bike, so I'll be wide looking for that. Tom's aware of it, he's out the front. So yeah, good if we get as much notice as possible. That ain't want to fall in there. Oopsie, maybe that was it, I don't know. Right, location 1 to Yamana Camp. We're at a major crossroad, and I think what we need to do now is pull over and do a nav check, because this will be critical to what happens next. It's an opportunity to just confirm where we are, and more importantly which way to Laverton, because there's a couple of options. Right, a bit of a gathering here. This junction, depending on which way you want to head, this particular junction is critical. I think that way will take you to Great Central Road. That looks like it's a no-through road because it goes to a camp. And the one we want is that one there, the Yamana White Cliffs Road, which will take us straight into Laverton, which is our destination for today. So we'll get underway, we'll ride for another hour and then pull over for some lunch. I don't know how far it is to Laverton, doesn't really matter, we'll figure it out. So yeah, I don't know where all these blokes are going. There are some other tyre tracks leading this way, so there's a couple of bikes in front of us. Right, we've arrived at the small town of Laverton. That's it, just through there. That'll be 770 kilometres between fuel stops. That's the reason we packed a bit of spare fuel in bladders and jerry cans. We're going to stay at the caravan park tonight for two reasons. Firstly, we're meeting Dave, he's joining us here, and then we're going to continue heading east on Great Central Road. And secondly, because the only shop in town will be closed Sunday afternoon, and we need to resupply because we've been on the road now, this is day 5. We've exhausted all our rations, so we'll wait till the shop opens in the morning, resupply, fill up with fuel, and then get underway. Bo and Chris in the sidecars will leave us. They will head back to Perth along with Chris in the support vehicle. It's been good to have him along. Kept our beer cold. So yeah, we'll go to the caravan park, we'll check in. It's probably timely to have a shower too, because as I say, we've been on the road now for 5 days and we're probably due.
I'm running out of petrol.
And Tom's run out of petrol, and I thought that was going to happen. We stopped for lunch, and I looked at his fuel tank and I said, mate, stick some fuel in it now, and he said, no, she'll be right. Right, I will make sure he never lives this down. The reason to stay here, I guess, is to get a pub meal tonight. Right, let's see how we go. I think Tom is going to get a room just to make himself feel a bit more comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that idea.
How many people? 5?
1 car and 5. Yes.
Is fuel available?
Alright, leaving the caravan park now. Having a bit of a relaxed start because we did have to resupply this morning. The shop didn't open until 8:30. So I'm just on my way now to the roadhouse, which is the shop. Get a guts full of fuel. The next fuel stop is 300 kilometres up the road, a place called Chukarelia, mostly unsealed. The first 70 kilometres is sealed, and after that it's going to be dirt for us for the next 3 days, 1,200 kilometres perhaps, and then some. I'll get some fuel. The other reason I want to get as much fuel as possible here is that going across Great Central Road through all these closed communities, all these Aboriginal communities, the only fuel available is something called opal, which is low octane, low aromatic. There's a problem with petrol sniffing in some of these communities, and therefore they only use opal fuel, which doesn't give you a high, but it does affect the performance of the bike. Not much, but a little bit. So I'll get the good stuff from here. So yeah, we're all going to meet here at the roadhouse for a 10 a.m. departure. Chris and Bo have already left on their Urals. They're going back to Perth. Chris in the support vehicle. He'll be leaving very shortly, and he'll just make his own way back to Perth as well. Alright, we're off. I think Chris is sad that he's not coming with us. Alright, this is, I guess, yeah, the next part of the journey for us. Pretty much heading due east for the next couple of days, and then some. And that'll take us to our most eastern point for this journey. An old pastoral lease called Old Andaddo, which I haven't been to. Part of the reason for this journey, yeah, is to go and see that. So yeah, we'll just make our way through town, which won't take very long, and get on a Great Central Road. First 70 kilometres sealed. We'll pull over there at the end to have a look at a thing called the breakaways, because a couple of these guys haven't been on Great Central Road. We're just going to stop and smell a couple of roses along the way. Right, we've just pulled over to a place called the Breakaways. A couple of the guys haven't been here before. It's a fairly popular campsite for a lot of the transients. So yeah, we'll just pull up, take in the view for a few minutes, and then get underway. Yeah, called the Giles Breakaway, and it's a bit unusual in this fairly bland landscape ordinarily. got to try and find the sweet spot for these corrugations. Yeah, anyway, that was an escort, a pilot, just warning us of a wide load. Oh, it'd be horrible in a truck. This is the turn off to Cosmo Newbury, which is an Aboriginal community. We don't need to call in there, so we won't be. Oh, Christ. Yeah, g'day, mate. Jesus. Oh, shake your fillings loose. Before we go there, I'm just going to take the boys to the zoo. It's just opposite the entrance to Chukarelia. The zoo is just some weird rock formations, and if you use your imagination, a couple of them could almost pass for animals. But anyway, so they're probably a couple of minutes behind me. And here's the turn off to Chukarelia. I'll just wait here until they get here. Chukarelia is nothing more than just a roadhouse. They've got some minor supplies there. It's not the sort of place you'd want to spend your holidays. Right, the band is back together. While I've been waiting here, a couple of cars, four-wheel drives, pulled in, so it could be busy at the zoo today. Hope there's enough room for all of us. It's a bit of a car graveyard here as well. Obviously wrecks that can't be repaired, break down, they drag them here. There's probably some choice finds in there. Some rare spares. Here's the sign saying this way to the zoo. I don't make this shit up. So yeah, this is it. We'll just pull over and have a bit of a walk around and then go back and refuel and have a bite to eat at Chukarelia. Ever since I mentioned that we were going to go to the zoo, all Tom has done is taken the mickey out of me, because he's not that impressed.
It's amazing.
And yet other people have taken the trouble to come here. So it can't be that bad, surely. And as I say, if you use your imagination, then again, maybe Tom's right. I don't know how much the fuel is going to be per litre, but ultimately they've got it, we need it. You've got to pay what they're asking. Right, leaving Chukarelia, we'll ride for about an hour or 100 kilometres. Tom's going to go at the front. He's got a fairly good navigational aid. It is very detailed and you can pick up a lot of minor tracks and part of the old realignment. The old realignment is normally a good place to pull up and camp because it's well off this road, so nobody's going to see your fire at night. So yeah, he can take the lead and enjoy a dust-free environment. Well, we've just pulled off Great Central Road, currently on what used to be the original alignment. If I know Tom will go down there a few hundred metres, make sure we're far away from the existing road, find a spot and pull up. This will do. This looks like it might have been the track once upon a time as well. Another great campsite. Haven't met a campsite I didn't like once the sun went down. We're just going to make our way back to the road, and once we get on there we'll continue heading sort of northeast, about 144 kilometres to Laverton, an Aboriginal community. Refuel there, probably a good time to have morning tea, and then from there we head due east through other communities, Blackstone, Wingalina, and we're also going to call into Surveyor General's Corner, which is where the three states meet: Northern Territory, Western Australia and South Australia. Not a lot of traffic on this road at the moment. Heard a couple of cars once the sun went down, and one this morning, but in the main, yeah, not a lot of action, not a lot of activity. Approaching Laverton now. When we leave here we actually ride through the community and head towards Blackstone, and that'll be another eye opener for a couple of these guys. They wouldn't have seen that sort of stuff before. Lots of diesel pumps, very little opal or unleaded. We'll have to wait till this bloke moves on, and that's okay. We're just going to call into the community and go to the medical centre there. Tom's as crook as a dog. He's got a chest infection or a respiratory infection, and yeah, he's soldiered on up to this point, but he's not well. So we'll go over the community, go to the medical centre, see if there's anybody there who can, if not treat him, at least give him some medication. Health Clinic. Alright, they didn't have a doctor there, they did have a nurse. They've given him a puffer, I don't know, probably steroids or something, but yeah, anyway, he'll live. We'll just go back to the roadhouse. I want to get a cup of coffee and something to eat. We haven't lost a lot of time, it ain't that big a deal. So yeah, we'll go back, meet up with the other blokes and then head off. these boys are in for a bit of a treat tonight. Rootail. I did this a couple of years ago, and obviously a lot of people haven't eaten rootail or seen it prepared and cooked, but yeah, a couple of years ago I did the same thing, and yeah, a couple of the blokes reckon it wasn't half bad. I reckon it tastes like lamb, but anyway, we'll cook that up over hot coals tonight around the fire. Right, Tom's going to lead us out. He hasn't been down this neck of the woods, but it's not difficult to find your way through Warburton and pick up the road to Blackstone. From here to Wingalina, which is the border, is I think about 275 kilometres, probably 4 hours of riding. We'll probably camp there tonight, I think, but we'll know more later on. That's it. We're now on the road to Blackstone. All unsealed, of course, as you would expect. Well, this is Blackstone. Gets its name from the surrounding hills. Very interesting geology. Yeah, these remote communities are always located near some stunning landscapes, stunning vistas, and I guess rightly so. Everybody seems happy to see us. That's refreshing. We're going to ride for about 45 minutes. And then find a place to pull up. That'll give us about just over an hour before sunset. Sunset locally is 5:07 WA time because we've been travelling east. Sunset is getting earlier and earlier, and sunrise is getting later and later. So yeah, we'll ride for 45 minutes and then pull up. That's the end of the community, straight into it. Turn off the window away now. So you want to head towards Surveyor General's Corner?
What do you want to do? You want to get fuel?
No. No. Let's just find a spot around here somewhere. Yeah? 7 kilometres to Wingalina. My guess is it'll be closed or close to it. And we'll just run out of daylight. Put a bit of pressure on ourselves. So we'll just camp locally around here somewhere. Go to Wingalina in the morning. That's Surveyor's General Corner, yeah? That's the junction of the three borders. I don't know whether he's considering camping there. He may be. It's only a couple of kilometres in. My guess is it would be devoid of firewood, but that's okay. We'll figure something out, we usually do. You want to get off the road a couple hundred metres so nobody sees the fire. Not that I think it's going to be a deal breaker, but there's a nice spot for me, I think. A few camel prints, beautiful. It's morning of day 8, where we were bush camped on the track, the access track to Surveyor General's Corner, which is the boundary for the 3 states, Northern Territory, South Australia and Western Australia. Yesterday when Tom was at the clinic, there wasn't a doctor there, just a nurse, and the nurse said, could be COVID. Tom's not well at all. He's really struggling. You know, to have an undisplaced fracture is one thing, but then to have COVID on top of that, yeah, he's not travelling very well at all. So we're just outside Wingalinga, a remote Aboriginal community. He's going to go there, see if he can get some assistance from a medical centre or something. The three of us, the other three are going to go to Surveyor General's Corner. Tom's been there before, he's not missing much. So yeah, he'll go straight to Wingalina. We'll make our way to Surveyor General's Corner and link up with him about 45 minutes later. We're encouraging him to stay here overnight at the medical centre because it's that serious that I think he needs to be under observation.